Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this photograph that we've created, and you can see what I've done with it. I've added some more highlights and tools to make this image stand out more and look more interesting. What I've done here is I've added a transparency, and I want to go over how to add a transparency to images right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add that back in here. But basically transparencies are very similar to working with our regular shapes. That's what we're doing essentially. What I did here is I took the pen tool and drew out a shape I wanted. And I was paying more attention to at the time to being more specific. But I create a shape, and then right here by default I have a transparency added. But originally what's going to happen here is when you have a shape selected, if you come right next to the swatches, it's going to be selected on solid. And this is what you'll see originally when you draw a shape. You'll have a solid here. But when you're working with a vector graphic, you can easily add a transparency by selecting the drop-down menu here, selecting gradient, and selecting the type of gradient you want to work with. Right here I'm working with a linear gradient, and right now it's kind of hard to see the colors I have because the colors I had previously selected were yellow and white. But in your swatches panel, if I were to select here, I have an option to change my values. So if I double click on this yellow swatch, I can select a gray color or even a black like I had before, and I can select a white if I wanted to, or a light gray. And you can see the transparency has now taken place. So again, to add transparency, you work with any one of your vector shape tools, draw the object in, go from solid to a gradient, and here's a radial, by the way, to show you what a radial looks like. And again, I would come in here and change the color so you can see what it would look like. To add a gradient element to your design, it's really a quick, easy thing to do. Again, if you want to make further edits, you can grab these little sliders and drag them around and make adjustments if you want to. But this is a nice smooth gradient that I could use in my design if I wanted to. So again, to add a gradient, draw a shape, change the drop-down menu from solid to gradient, and then play around with the gradient slider and colors.